When I was young, my dad was very mechanical inclined, and we wrenched on vehicles together.
My dad started me when I was a kid, and we ran a lot of BFG tires back then even.
I basically grew up in an off-road family. My father raced off-road, my grandfather raced off-road. Our family business is building off-road parts.
My dad taught me to drive in our '76 Bronco, and from that second that I got behind that wheel, I was hooked.
My dad would bring us to the car show that would happen in downtown Chicago, which drew me more and more interested, but I got more into imports because of my brother.
I lived in a neighborhood with a lot of car guys and learned a lot when I was young.
Personally for me, it's more of like an escape for myself, to get away from the community. It's a stress reliever, it's my passion.
High school auto shop, my teacher. That's when I went from just being into cars to like really being into cars.
I got in the early 90s, actually started showing cars. I never won nothing for like 10 years, but I just love cars, you know, and started meeting people. It's like going to Cheers now, you know. I go to a car show and I see a bunch of friends, and you know, and just kind of some place to relax and have a good time.
I am a avid off-road enthusiast.
The majority of us are enthusiasts. We go out and use our stuff every week, and we know what works, what doesn't work, why it doesn't work.
For me, it's being an adventurist. I don't want to be a race car driver, a Jeeper. I want to live outside.
I am unique. I am different. That's what my build is, different from everything else.
It's really mostly about self-expression, I think.
I feel that I am the creative mind behind this beautiful build.
I am a car freak. I can tell you, a car can drive behind me and I can tell you what motor's in it. So it's just something I've always loved when I was a kid, and just a great passion for me.
I am an enthusiast. I can't get enough of the community.
We've had a long-standing relationship with BFG, and they've been very good partners to us when it comes to project vehicles, manufactured partners.
I was also introduced to BFG from James Lynn of Team Hybrid. You know, I spoke to him a couple of times learning on what I should do and what tire I should get, and he directed my attention towards BFGoodrich.
They got some nice sticky tires, and they're great for burnouts, to be honest with you.
For the show, it really adds a lot of points having a BFG on it, because show things they want legit parts.
Traction.
Love that.
That's what I'm looking for out of a tire, and BFG, well, traction and durability, but traction is what I get.
Everything Curry Enterprise builds is the absolute best. It's not for looks, it's not for show, it's all for go. So meaning when Curry Enterprise puts those products on a Jeep, we feel the same way in our tires. So if we're gonna go to Moab, Utah, Easter Jeep Safari, TDS, King of the Hammers, or an off-road race, we want the absolute best tire on our vehicle. So having BFG tires on all of our vehicles is the only way we would go.
It's very simple. Education is the most important thing. BFG Michelin used to do a program where there was online training, and when you graduate, you get a certificate. So I would like to see BFG Michelin bring that back.
BFGoodrich magazines would be pretty cool, with all new features of tires and features cars and articles and stuff like that.
We've been working on, and hopefully it will expand a little bit, we call it a video segment called Follow Line. And we hope to develop it into a GPS or maybe even an app for your phone, where you can go to some of the famous trails in Moab or Johnson Valley, the Rubicon, and I'll take you through obstacle by obstacle and explain how to get your Jeep up that obstacle.
Keep catering to the needs of the tuner culture. I mean, you guys have great tires. I mean, they grip well. Good sizing options is key. With the way tuners have evolved to now, people used to like the meaty tires. Now there's a lot of people are doing the stretch look. It's just being able to conform to the trends and everything, and you guys do a good job of that, so just continue it.
You know, for me, and connecting with all of my fans and friends is, everybody's my friend, right? I'm just another Jeeper going out and doing what everyone else wants to do. You know, a lot of events we go to, most people just want to tell a story, and that's where I look at it, is like, I try to be the guy that will tell my crazy stories because I live a little adventurous, but when they come back and tell me a story about how they broke an axle or how they got a flat tire. Really, they're not mad that they broke a part or got a flat tire. They really just want to tell somebody their story of how it happened and get an explanation. And to me, they'll come back and buy parts once they hear or get their feelings out of what happened.
The reason why we're successful is we care about the people.
That's what it's really all about. It doesn't matter what you drive, but it just matters the passion that you have for your build.
You have to focus on both. Without the driver, there's no car. Without the car, there's no driver.
To be frank, it's simple. Out of sight, out of mind. You gotta be present. You gotta be involved. You gotta hit the grassroots. You gotta touch the people that matter.
What would I like to see happen is whatever you guys plan to do is just as long as it brings the community together.
You gotta be there and be at the events that matter to the people in our world.
Car meets are happening pretty much every day of the week, wherever. Walmart parking lot, it's everywhere.
And also, you also want to give back to the community. You might want to just host an event, like kind of what you guys are doing today, but do it for the community.
I decided to come to this event only because when James Lynn told me that BFGoodrich was going to be here to personally speak to us about what we've done to our cars, to me, you know, it's not just like a car show that you can go to be awarded a trophy or anything. You know, I'm going to be talking to the people who are the front men of the business and who are there to help me before I even met them. So for them to give me, you know, their product and use their product on the road on a day-to-day basis, you know, without even meeting me, but already trusting James Lynn to do the job for them, you know, like that's already an opportunity of a lifetime.
I love that slogan because I've been driving for 50 years off-road. Everything from dirt bikes, side-by-sides, buggies, and a lot of Jeeps. It tells me that there's a challenge that we get to test ourselves and test our equipment.
Well, I take that as almost like a challenge, or like you're questioning someone's manhood of you got a nice car, but do you drive it?
Being driver enough is knowing your car and knowing how to drive it, knowing that it's your build, your passion, not somebody else's, and that you know how to drive it. So it's not something you build and you just store away, have somebody else drive it, something like that. It's something that you do every day, you look at it and you love it.
What that means to me is the passion you feel when you get behind the car and the control you have, how that makes you feel, the experience.
Am I driver enough? Yeah. I would say I would be, yes, because like I said, with my vehicle, I take it everywhere.
To me, it means you drive your car enough. You use their tires enough.
Are you willing to stick with your hobby? Are you willing to be a part of a group and community that loves, that looks, I guess, at a tire that is not just a piece of rubber, but something that will help and save you?
Are you driver enough? That means, do you trust your build? Do you trust the tires that's on your car to control your build? Do you have enough trust in everything that you're doing to do what you got to do? And do you trust your tires enough to hold onto the road to do what you got to do?
Are you driver enough? Can you take your car to the limit with BFGs?